Hi, it's odeean here. Today I've got Bandai's Chogokin, My Melody. I don't know much about the character, I'm not a big fan, but I did previously buy the Chogokin Hello Kitty, which I thought was really excellent. This is my copy here. I bought one of these for my girlfriend who didn't care much about it, but I also bought one for my little daughter who currently is at 8 years old, and she loved it so much that she keeps it in her sock drawer, so it's padded from getting scratched and stuff like that. So I figured that this My Melody would be the perfect gift for her. So this is going to my daughter a little bit later on, but for now I'm going to review it. The back of the box shows all the little actions that it can do. It's so cute, like just the cockpit opening, the turnaround feature of the cockpit so that it gets this shield business, the different stances like flight mode, what have you. A little bit of silhouette on the side. There's Melody's face at the front. There's this heart-shaped opening in the box. Now, you can pull the insert out and there's some little pictures, but they don't seem to line up with that, which is a bit weird. Here's My Melody out of the box. Well, I should say rather her mecha, because this is a giant super robot, not the character herself. Now, it's very cutesy. I mean, there's some die cast here. I like the panel lines. It's just enough little bit of detail to indicate that this is actually a robot and not just a figurine. It's very nice to look at. On the back, we have this little knob. Now, this is really cool. If you turn that little knob, it rotates this pod. So it at first seems very difficult to open up this cockpit area, but if we grab this, which is actually the character, this is Melody, the actual tiny little person who will pilot this mech, you can see she's on this pin, and that looks a lot like the peg that was in the Hello Kitty, so I'm guessing this can go inside the Hello Kitty. But if you pull on that, you get this weirdly detailed thing, which I'm not really sure what it's meant to represent, but it can be used to pop open the cockpit, and you can stick this little bunny rabbit, I think it's a bunny rabbit, on the inside. Nice and snug. Close the door, turn it around, and now we have a pilot. So the first thing you can do as a pilot is turn this earpiece down. Now both of them do it. I'm just going to show one for now. And that really cutesy little heart there is a rocket launching weapon. So let's shoot that off and see how far it can go. So there, it shoots out quite nicely. The design is simple, but it's cute and it works well. The next awesome thing that this little figure can do is go into flight mode. So for flight mode, first you're going to want to just get these earpieces out of the way a little bit, and you'll see why in a moment. And as I tilt this body up like that, you'll see two things happen. First, Melody has popped up. Look at that. The cockpit's gone over the head so she can see out. And a visor has come over the face. So perhaps you could go into space like that. Now on the box, they kind of show this configuration. It's actually, the flower tends to be just a little bit in the way from how I would have it. But kind of like that. Now interestingly, this Melody that you see raising up out of the back isn't the one that I put in there earlier. So if I turn this around, you can still see her down there. So it's just a kind of, they're faking it. It's just like on Transformers, how they have fake parts in alt modes, in robot modes, so that they don't have to do a perfect transformation. and this is the same thing, but it looks cool, and it's easy enough to imagine that is actually her popping out like that. Now, I don't think this opens. I mean, I can see some seams where the plastic is snapped on, but there's no way to really get her out of there if you didn't want it to be in the back. In flight mode, she has these 4 steel wheels on the underside. So let's just put this back. So if you wanted to, you can roll her around. I mean, why she'd want to drag her face along the ground, I don't know, but still possible. Now, why is that getting stuck? She doesn't want to go back to normal mode. There we go. So it's got a little bit of a opportunity to jam there as the visor gets sandwiched between the face panel that's coming forward, because the face goes in and out as the visor moves. So it might not be really that good of a children's toy, but I think that my 8-year-old is going to be able to handle that. She'll figure out to be careful with it. If you do want to display Melody in her various modes, it comes with this base, so you can see that these bits can pop off if you want to display her in robot mode, and the little jets just poke down onto the pegs. It's pretty secure, so I mean, it's not that wide of a base, so a good bump on the shelf is still going to knock it over because all this die cast is a bit heavy, but it does give it a more secure base to stand on. If you don't want her in standing mode, you can just pop her on the flight stand. I don't like that. It looks a bit weird. I think that lying face down on the stand is not so great. Now, I'm going to pop out the little character from the cockpit, and it can just plug onto the side of the base as well. So let's put this here. Plug this back into the little figurine, and then she can peg right in like that. So you get a nice display piece if all you want to do is keep it on the shelf. Here's a comparison with her counterpart Hello Kitty, and they look so nice together. Now, I know there's another one that looks kind of cute. I can't remember what it's called, but it wasn't a mech, or at least it wasn't a pilotable mech, so I didn't buy that one. But Hello Kitty is very heavy, and this head is all metal, so she actually weighs a ton. She really needs the stand. This My Melody isn't so top heavy because the die cast is mainly down lower, so it's less likely to fall over, but they look really good together, and what little girl wouldn't want to have them? I've been to my local comic shop and I saw in person other colours of Hello Kitty, but really if you've got this original one, this is good enough, and the price on these guys is relatively cheap. I mean, I must admit, locally they were trying to sell these at $100, which that's just stupid, but I think when I bought them it was roughly $50, which is pretty good buy. With this, I think it was even less. My Melody must have been roughly $40. One final word is that she can actually go inside the Hello Kitty, and the peg fits perfectly, so the peg is compatible with Hello Kitty. So either she could pilot her Melody mech or the Kitty mech. It's just a pity, you know, that they didn't make this peg pull out of the arse of Hello Kitty, because I didn't like that. And the way they did it with My Melody is actually a little bit better, I think. Let's have a look at these guys, if I can just focus on them. Look at that. I like them. They look so happy. For Transformers fans who may not know exactly how big this is, here I have a size comparison with Powerglide. And here we have her next to a normal size Minicon. And finally, Shockwave. My final thoughts. You know, this is not a spectacular piece that every Chogokin collector is going to want to get. I think you really only need to buy this if you've got a little girl who's going to enjoy it. And I do. So I'm pretty glad to get it. Just from my perspective, I don't really have a need to have this, and just handling it now has been enough for me. I think it's nice, but I won't need to look at this again. Will it stand the test of time when it comes to play? I don't really think so. I think that this door is going to get broken off. I think that these hearts are going to get lost. And more than anything, I think that this rotation of this head, that two-step process there seems to jam a little bit as the visor comes down and the face goes back. I think my daughter may end up breaking that, but she's going to have a nice time doing it, which is the important thing. So if you like the look of this, go out and get one. They're not too expensive. Enjoy. I'm odeean. Thanks for watching.